My name is Wendy Ramirez, and I teach for the Halton Catholic District School Board, and I teach grade 5. And the project that I picked for Project Innovation was inquiry in the science classroom. And I really believe in student-led, student-directed learning, so this was perfect an opportunity for me to actually fully embrace it. I had questions. I started with the Ontario curriculum documents, the grade 5 documents, looking at science and looking at what the big ideas would be. So for example, in matter, I looked at the big idea that I came up with, and the guiding question that I started off the project with was, how does our use of matter and how we change matter affect the environment and society? So I started with that big question. I brought in provocations to look at different ways that matter changed, and we looked at how it's made videos, and started simply like that and asked and the students started coming up with their own questions. So they came up with all these great questions, and we charted all their questions, things like, can you combine two forces? Two matters? Can you take two matters apart? What kind of matter is the strongest matter? How can you change matter? All different types of questions about matter. And so we collected all of those, and we used those to guide their research. So as they were researching, we would look at the questions and then they would come up with experiments that they could do. So they were creating their own experiments and then seeing if they could answer the questions, and they were using them for research as well. When it came time to do their presentations or to show their work, I asked them another question, and the question I asked them was, what's the best way that you can present your ideas? So I had students who did readers theater, I had students who did PowerPoints, I had students who did videos, I had students who wrote speeches, I had students who did a bristle board, a presentation on a large poster board. And so presentations were done in all different ways, and they all came up with really great ideas and ways to show their information. One of the other things that we found was that after a presentation, the students actually asked a lot more questions, and they were asking each other questions. And I found that I could see their learning even from the questions they were asking each other. Things like, why did you choose that material? Did you think about the environmental impact? Well, you didn't say anything about society. What do you know about how it affected our society? And so there was a lot more interaction between the students, and I could sit back and be the observer and just note what they knew, and it was a great way of seeing everybody's learning. Some of the questions that they researched were things like smart blood. Somebody had seen the James Bond movie and wanted to do smart blood. And so they did a whole project on smart blood and the implications of what might happen if we had smart blood, but also some of the technology and some of the research that was going on now that was similar to smart blood. Another student, who was a special needs student, had a big interest in Jurassic Park and started researching, can you actually clone dinosaurs? And his information all was based on whether or not it was true, and he actually wrote a paragraph, and I've never seen him write a paragraph before. It was always one sentence. But he actually wanted to submit something to a question online that he found that was a safe place where he could respond, and he responded with a full paragraph, and I'd never seen that before. So the enthusiasm, because they could direct their own learning, was really great. One of the things that I would like to see more of is just, it's always a time factor. So you really have to think about that integration and how you're going to integrate your other subject areas so that you can combine language and science and math together, so you do have that time, so you're not teaching in little separate pods. So it's making sure that you have that mindset of being able to do that integration. And of course, it's just time. There's so much that you want to do, and there's just so little time. Thank you.